Source asked me to talk to you today about the story about why we're here as humans. I had my spiritual awakening over 30 years ago, and I'm in my 50s now. It's been a very long time. And during that time, I have studied with various spiritual teachers. Most of them were ascended masters on the other side. One of them, his name was Tobias. Tobias is who I named my cat Tobias after. That's how much I honor the relationship I have with Tobias. And Tobias, through a person, his name is Jeffrey Hoppy, who channels Tobias. This was over a decade. I think it's been like 15 years now since he channeled Tobias, but together they wrote a book called The Journey of the Angels, and you can get it on Amazon, I believe. And so what happened for me was I heard this call of Tobias when I was in my early 20s, over 30 years ago, when I had my spiritual awakening. And the call was a symbolic trumpet that guided my human without her actually knowing what she was being guided to, or that she was even being guided to a group called the Crimson Circle. And the Crimson Circle was a group that has incarnated together over and over in many lifetimes, carrying wounds, similar wounds, but also carrying the knowledge and the light of source consciousness. And early on, and I'm not claiming to know everything. I do not. I feel I know nothing. But my process has been guided, and my process has been very unique. I woke up very early and found these groups that not many were finding. I found information that people would think I was losing it for, and my heart knew it was true. So long story short, the journey of the angels is a story of the 144,000 angels, families coming to Earth to stop energy from stopping. Now, energy cannot stop, but in all of creation, there was, and this is not the humans, but in all of creation, there was a battle for others' energy. Not the way that we would battle as a human, but there was a belief that something was slowing down in all of humanity, and there was a thought that maybe we would cease to exist if that energy stopped. And then we started having wars with each other for energy, not really understanding that energy comes from within ourselves, from our connection to consciousness. And these wars continued on and on and on. And because on the other side, we create things very quickly, we couldn't learn unless there was a slowed down method of processing the understanding that energy is within us. And there were volunteers who put their hands up to come to Earth, and I know I was one of them. And if you resonate with me, maybe you were too, but a lot of the ones in the Crimson Circle, the group that was my Shaumbra family, we heard that call, and we volunteered to come to understand the nature of energy. And so here, we've been playing that battle out, just like the battle is going on in other realms. And so we're coming to a point, like I didn't know this, like I said, I've been doing this for 30 odd years and many, many, many lifetimes, which we don't remember. We're veiled from that. And that's part of it. Like in Atlantis, when all this happened, like when we first came here, we were not as veiled to all the connection pieces of ourselves. And in Atlantis, what happened, there was an energetic headband that was created that Shaumbra, Crimson Circle, the group I was part of. in some regard. And maybe that's why I chose to awaken early, and that headband stopped us from seeing everything, having that connection, being able to travel in and out of dimensions like we used to do in Atlantis. And the headbands created a situation where the gates to all of creation had to be shut down. And we have been going blindly now, so to speak, and we did get stuck. And I had somebody comment on my last video, precious one who is feeling anger right now, just like I am. And the anger is coming from the soul finally realizing that going in circles, playing out the karma, learning the lessons in suffering, and having the human suffer. The soul is starting to see, because the human is starting to say no more. And I said in my last video that I do believe that there is a masculine and feminine side to all of us, and the feminine side has been the one who is bearing the brunt of that suffering, as the soul, the masculine side, has in all of creation going about learning lessons on the backs of the suffering of the human. But if you look as above, so below, and what's going on here is with the patriarchy, that the feminine has also been subdued and is suffering. That the masculine is taking from the feminine to gain power. The same war that's going on, and the same reason that we came here was to know that your power comes from within you. My power comes from within me. We don't have to give it, which is what the feminine has been trained to do, manipulated to do, whatever the words are. She's been giving her power away, and the anger that is rising now is the feminine rising, saying, no more. No more. And the masculine is also coming to see how it has also been manipulated to take the power from the feminine. So if you are feeling angry right now, that's good. It's a good thing. Anger is good. And those carrying like the lineage for the feminine and healing those wounds, we thought we couldn't be angry. We thought we couldn't speak up, and we just bore the brunt of it and kept going because that's what we were coded to do by the soul. And I'm starting to see that maybe the soul wasn't as wise as we thought, because it's gaining all the wisdom from the human experiences, from all the lifetimes. And maybe consciousness, when it asked, who am I? And all of this started, maybe consciousness also needed to see those two halves, the masculine and the feminine, because it needed to split to see itself, because you can't see yourself, so it split. And those two pieces have been split for a very long time. And they're coming together now. How do I know? Knowingness, intuition, my connection to consciousness, the energy I feel, my own process. And I don't claim to know everything, and this is just my process. And Source has said, share your words. It's not your job what people do with it. That's your job. I don't have to save anyone anymore, and neither do you. We only have to remember that we are whole, that there's parts of us that do not have to be subdued, that we can come into wholeness now, and that we can say no more, and we can be angry about it. And I feel like the last 3 days, I have had more anger in the last 3 days than I've had in my entire life, coming up and out with a conversation to my soul, to consciousness, to my own sovereign story, And I feel that that is making an opening, and I feel that there is something going on right now, some kind of portal, and I'm not aware of this consciously, but I feel it. I sense the opening in my own process, that there is something going on, and that anger, that feminine rising is fueling the direction of all of humanity, but especially those on the leading edge and the light workers who have been going blindly and have suffered a lot. Now, in the big scheme of things, we are consciousness. And being here is a dream, but not to the human, right? And I do feel that there is a purpose for especially the feminine putting her foot down now and saying no more. And when I'm doing that and when I'm saying that, I feel like I'm creating a whole new timeline for myself. Finally able to get out of that old contract that my soul made to heal the lineage and heal humanity and maybe make up for what I did in Atlantis. But we don't need to do anything to be loved, to be whole, to be supported, to be healed, or to remember. And that is part of sovereignty, is coming into that understanding that we don't need to do anything to be loved by Source. And if you look at all the power struggles, that is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to play out that battle of acquiring a worthiness from outside ourselves, when really consciousness resides within us. And it always has been there, but we have been manipulated in ways to not see it. And there was, I believe, a type of rescue mission. Not that we can truly be lost, but there were those of us who had higher skill levels who came in at this time specifically because this was the time that we were going to get out of the manipulation and the suffering that, yes, we did agree to on some level. But we do that now by saying no more, and by the feminine taking her power back. And for whatever reason, the time is now. Whether it's that we've raised the frequency enough on this planet, whether God has decreed it, I don't know. But I do know that it's time. So let the anger rise. Source said to me, don't look back. Let everything you've been carrying fall away. The burdens of this lifetime, of other lifetimes, the pain, the wounds, the lack of story, the lack of what I didn't get to experience as a human, the pain, the heartache. Source said, let it go. We could ask questions forever. We're not going to know the answers, but the time is now, and we need to let it go. And once we do that, the more that drops away, the more we rise into our highest self, into who we always were underneath all of the wars, of believing that the power was outside ourselves. And no matter what has happened, we remember. I remember. And I choose to remember and rise now. And intention is key. Give the intention to remember. And together, we rise.